It waits for me. I mean, it waits. All right. Speaking of waiting. Silent Hill Downpour. Escape from the prison. Do you need to see it, Jay? Everybody spam the mayo mood. It's not showing. Hang on. I got a backup plan. I can show you. See it over there? That is Muscle Bush Tits. You can thank him for that. Hey, Gabbers. Hi, baby girl. Watch over my M&Ms. They're peanut M&Ms. We don't have the Banamon thing, but I could...
I might be able to cross over on this.
I could potentially bring it back. Hi, Henry. Those are my M&Ms. She's guarding them. Hang on. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, he's gonna leave. No! Okay. Never mind. Good work. You understood the assignment. On the desk to try to smell them, and she took a swing at him like, no.
Come on, Murphy, hold it together, man.
That didn't sound great. Ooh. Now wait a minute. I don't have oh, because she kidnapped me and put me back in prison. She didn't really kidnap me, but
Perfect. I need another key card. That might come in handy.
I cannot.
How do I get the damn thing open?
I cannot wait to read the synopsis when I get done here. Psychological report. From Dr. Wayne Sarah to Warden Glenn Milton. We don't know the subject name. Initial psychological evaluation. Blank is a male. Blank years old. He's serving a blank year sentence for blank and blank. He appears to be in excellent physical health. We briefly discussed his past, as well as the events that led to his incarceration. Blank maintains a soft-spoken and somewhat introverted demeanor, yet appears to be cognizant of his crimes and able to serve his sentence without causing any trouble or displaying resistance. For these reasons, I recommend he be approved for placement in general population. Okay. Another one of these, huh?
You don't need these anymore, do you?
Nice. Access card. Oh. Yeah, I'm one of those people who has stress management handling in spades. And even I can't keep up anymore. You know? Wait a minute. Let's check. No? Damn. Okay. I didn't want to go up here. Hey, Genova, what's up? The checkout zone. Having a lazy day, but you made some sloppy joes. I had a lazy day that I wasn't intending to be well, actually, no. It was a lazy day that I had intended to be a lazy day, but it had to like detour into a not lazy day. And so it was like a tainted lazy day. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like all I wanted to do today when I got up was make a chili, and then Trav and I were gonna go on a VR date and bowl. I woke up and I had to go to the grocery store. Yeah. And by the time I got home from doing that, I had to like make the chili, then clean the kitchen up and stuff. But so by the time I got done with all this, I needed to shower after that. It was like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I was just like, now I'm just tired. Yeah, I don't want to do anything. I don't get a whole lot of lazy days. So I love when I do. Monday is going to be my lazy day. I don't want to do a goddamn thing on Monday. Except what I just said we didn't get to do. I want to go VR bowling. Babe, Well, another day, another letter from this hellhole. It's been 8 months now since I got locked up, and seems like things only get worse. I knew some rough guys on the outside, but none of them come close to the freaks in here. I'm talking stone cold fucking killers, rapists, even sick-ass child molesters. Rip the YouTube. And worst of all are the guards. I swear, there ain't a straight fucking one in the bunch. Just assholes with badges who get their rocks off knocking around the inmates. I always thought getting... Oh. I always thought getting by some dude was gonna be what I had to worry about in here. No one said nothing about having to watch my back for dumbass crooked bulls all the time. I can't wait to get out from here and back to you. Just 4 more months. Love forever, Ricky. A lot of I consume more true crime than I don't want to say most people, because I think your standard white woman probably consumes about as much as I do. I consume a lot of true crime. I hear some pretty gruesome things. I do not hear them as if described by a Quentin Tarantino script, so While I'm not adverse to like having to hear or read that, I simply don't. Harry. I simply don't want to say it out loud myself. Eiffel Tower with Jesus, thanks for the 97 months. Yeah, I've moved on to cold case files because I've seen the forensic files enough. The problem with cold case files is they repeat themselves a lot. The episodes could be like half the length. When am I gonna make my own true crime show and or game? The only reason I haven't is because I feel like another true crime podcast with a white woman is the last thing anybody needs. But I suppose I could. We could play a cozy game juxtaposed with like a story, like a true crime story. It'd be like Bailey Sarian, who does makeup while talking about it. Oh. Cozy crime story time. That could be what we call it. Oh.
World premiere.
Cozy crime story time. Tonight's episode. Stardew Valley and the crimes of Albert Fish. Oh shit. Next week, Fields of Mystria and the Golden State Killer. Murphy. Forgiveness? You have the balls to ask me for forgiveness? How can I possibly forgive you when you've destroyed everything I had left in this world? Every time I look at you, all I see is his face. I only ever asked for one thing of you, and that was to be a good father to our son. You failed me, Murphy. You failed me, and you failed Charlie. And wow, there's no way that you'll ever have him back. Or we'll ever have him back. Don't call, don't write. I never want to see you again. Carol, what'd you do, bro?
Carol. Where did they get this?
Ed Gein.
What'd you do?
The interesting thing about Ed Gein is that while his crimes are pretty gruesome, it's like when you actually get into the details of like some of it, like the individual details are pretty gruesome, but it's like he did this to like, he didn't have a lot of victims, and it seemed like he did it because he was just like his mom fucked him up, and then when his mom died, he just was lonely and didn't know how to handle it. But it's not like this psychopathy of the people that I find really scary are the people who just do it for no reason. Like they just, it's very clinical. They're just like, yeah, I did that. And they're able to talk about it in really gruesome terms. And there's like no fucking reason actually. What the fuck? Yeah, he did some arts and crafts. It's kind of gruesome. He collected vulvas. He made lampshades out of flesh. And I tell you, that's pedestrian compared to some of the things that other people have done. Yes. Gacy was what you would call like a Jekyll and Hyde because he blended in really well. He was well liked. He was able to get reduced prison sentences on more than one occasion prior to getting caught for the big shit that he did. And he was a monster. Like, he was a monster. The Golden State Killer, I think, was
100,
even
what
worse.
Is the charge? Creating a lamp? A cheerful room lighting lamp?
Yeah, when you listen to some of the cops talking about surveilling Gacy, it's pretty disgusting because they're just like, oh yeah, he'd come out and he'd check on us and he'd bring us coffee, and it's like, what the fuck, bro? You're supposed to be investigating him.
This door must be open from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the checkout zone. Thank you. No, the Golden State Killer thing is wild to me because that guy had like 30 plus victims over decades and eluded captivity until, and this is the new thing that's kind of catching a lot of people now, is like familial data. A lot of these cold cases are being solved because of like 23andMe and Ancestry.com. So these fucking old dudes who just got away with shit for years are finally getting their come up. That's how they caught the Golden State Killer. He was a cop, yeah. he was like a low-level patrolman though, so he was like a cop, but like not an important cop. You know, like Jesus, dude. How'd you catch anyone before DNA? Good old-fashioned police work. Sometimes they just guessed and got it wildly inaccurate. Oh. Could you chill? You don't do that. You don't do that. Every cat is like freaking out right now. Well, Gabby, move. Okay. Didn't they say they solved who the Zodiac killer was? There've been so many theories about that guy for years. There's a new one that suggested some guy named Ed or something. I haven't watched. I've watched a couple of parts of the documentaries. Not Ted Cruz, but it's a guy named Ed Edwards, I think is his name actually. But yeah, they say that like every 5 years. Motherfucker has two first names. Ed Edwards. But like, kind of like Jack the Ripper, they don't really know. Yeah, I started to read Devil in the White City, but I haven't. I'm still kind of actively learning about a lot of that stuff. Because I don't like go out. I'm not like so rabid for the information that I'm like enthusiastic, like, ooh, I just like, I have my reasons for watching true crime. Like, you know, like there's multiple facets. I think listening to the timeline of events is fascinating. The biggest reason I do is because I think it's interesting to hear the perspective of a survivor or like the family members, and that's just coming from a personal perspective of having, for lack of better words, gone through some shit. So it's like I can relate. So it's I like to hear it from that perspective, and then there's like a study that suggests like a lot of women consume true crime because of that idea. There's like a solace in hearing that type of stuff and hearing justice that comes from it, because usually true crime has to do with like the perpetrator being caught. I would say that's probably true. Harry Horror Show. Oh, I think I heard about that one. Yeah, that stream. I don't know anything about it though. When to go down and then up? I got here a certain way. You've had a book about a murder for years. You were about to start it, then Netflix dropped a series on it. What's the series? I'm curious. Maybe it is down here. Wait. Lucy Blackman. I don't actually know that. I've never heard that name. I might have heard that, but I'm not familiar. Anyway, yeah, I think some people get into true crime and they romanticize it, and that's weird to me. Like, I take it back. I think Jeffrey Dahmer is one of the scariest ones, or people in that category, because he truly just did it. For like no specific, he was just like, I don't know. Like, he was so empty. He was so void of anything. A gun? In this economy? Perfect. Okay. The people who get super invested, I don't know. I agree with that, but also there's some people who get invested in that, and like that's another facet of the Golden State Killer, is that somebody who did that actually was instrumental in solving the case. There's a whole documentary on it on Netflix, no, Max, called I'll Be Gone in the Dark. Can I get up there from here? Oh, Richard Ramirez, dude. Yeah, people who idolize that dude are, to quote Muscle Bush Tits, super cringe. Insert code. I don't know how I feel about the Luigi thing. I actually don't really feel like I have an opinion. Other than I don't really like to make it a point to celebrate anybody dying. But I'm also not losing any sleep over it. You know, I'm not really losing any sleep over it either. In that case. There's a strong movement to get the Menendez brothers out of jail because more or less what occurred there was they killed their parents, and their entire defense, they were tried twice, their entire defense rested upon the fact that their dad was molesting them. Eric specifically, really bad. And what we did as a society when we heard this, because this was one of the first times that men were publicly coming out and saying that this type of thing happened to them, what we did with that in the 90s was we made fun of them. And so nobody took it seriously. The jury was hung because the half of the jury was uncomfortable and the other half believed them. And so when they were retried, they didn't allow any of the previous stuff to be admissible. And then I think Eric had spoken to Lyle had spoken to some woman, and she wrote a book and it made most of his testimony inadmissible. So, yeah, they were separated and put in jail for a long time, and we just didn't even entertain the idea of any of that. So there's been this movement to get them out of prison because they've been in there for, what, 35 years now or something? And they're not really an inherent threat to society. They killed their parents in what they were calling some form of self-defense, like accidental self-defense or something like that. Yeah. That really well, the mother just allowed it to happen. So they had a lot of emotions tied into that. I don't know how I feel about it other than, well, you know, it's interesting. Looks like there's 2 things I haven't looked at yet. Okay. Cloak room for cloaks and shit. Anyway, since then I haven't like read up on this, but I guess there were like accounts. Self-defense is one thing, but they were calling it, there was like a I can't remember what it's called, but it more or less boils down to like battered woman syndrome is what they were kind of trying to file it under. Like when a woman is in an abusive marriage for so long, she can't take it. She ends up killing the husband, and it's an act of self-defense. That's what they were. No, it's not temporary insanity. I can't remember the specific clause of it. But there's in like the last year or so, after all this kind of resurfaced, the dad was a manager for like Menudo, and a few of the members, I think even including Ricky Martin, have come out to say that the dad was also doing bad things to them, which kind of lends credence to the original defense. We had a couple hiccups, but it looks like it's fine. Let me see. It's called imperfect self-defense. Okay. Imperfect self-defense. A common law doctrine recognized by some jurisdictions whereby the defendant may mitigate punishment or sentencing imposed for a crime involving the use of deadly force by claiming as a partial affirmative defense the honest but unreasonable belief that the actions were necessary to counter an attack. That's right. At one point, they thought that the parents were actually going to kill them, and that was their motive.
Boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy,
this is the only...
thick-ass boy.
Okay, I think I'm looking for notes around here to unlock this. I'm guessing. I mean, I remember being a kid and seeing like footage of the Menendez trial, and I remember the constant jokes about it. From that perspective, like specifically what I really remember is the cable guy had this like kind of running joke where Ben Stiller was playing like a Menendez type character, like two of them. Yeah, brother, sweet brother. But that wasn't quite the same. Like people were really going in on them for the angle that they took. And when you look at it in hindsight, it's really, really gross. Like, can I go this way? No. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know that they were going to retry them entirely, or if they were just going to look at saying that they serve their time and they're good, you know? I indirectly encouraged you to watch Man with 1,000 Children, and I'm sorry. Colgate is the one who brought it up, and I felt I had to talk about it once he did. Yeah, no, that's an awful documentary. That's an awful series. Can I? Monkey crazy. Oh, that's the chimpanzee crazy. The Tiger King chimps. We started that and I wasn't into it. We didn't get very far. I thought about going back to it. Yeah, I think that was the other thing that kind of tanked the Menendez's retrial, was that OJ. The Menendez brothers were like one of the first trials to be aired on TV. So it was like a huge deal from that perspective. But kind of led us down a dark path as a society, because look at where we ended up with like reality TV and shit. But yeah, then the OJ trial came along and that became the focus. And so nobody gave a shit about hearing out the Menendez brothers, especially after the first time around. Oh no, pick it up, sorry. Well, yeah, from my perspective, I'm just like, know your enemy. So if I watch enough true crime to where if I see some weird shit, I'm like, look, I'm side-eyeing you pretty hard. I also think psychology is fascinating, just objectively. So that's the third angle for me in true crime, is that the psychology of when they catch up with whoever did it, the psychology of why they went there is deeply fascinating to me, because it always falls under a couple of different categories. There's like a radio in here. That's what I'm thinking. Well, and the amount of people that I was watching a Cold Case Files today, and there was a woman. This was interesting only because I've been to these places. It was like a woman in like Mississippi or something that had been killed in her apartment in the 80s, and the police were like more or less like, I think this was an accidental death, and the dad was like, no, like, and he pressured them into like looking into it more, and they ended up accidentally collecting this piece of evidence that sealed the deal later on. They linked it to these like to several different cases of these women in like Missouri and Kentucky, several places that Trav and I had stayed when we went to go visit his mom and his stepdad. So as I was listening to this, I was like, whoa, oh God. It had ended up being this dude who was an EMT, who had been in jail for basically a bunch of essays. And then he enrolled in a program to learn how to be an EMT while in prison. And they let him out. Like it was like a 6-year sentence, and they let him out after like 11 months. And that happens so often that it's infuriating. Yeah. So additionally, to like let the Menendez brothers sit in prison because it's like a high profile thing, when these like fucking actual pieces of scum are just getting let off because, well, they're being well behaved. Like, well, what did they do? You know, what did they do to land in there? Because fuck. Wait a minute. Okay. Babe, bad fucking news. Someone around here has got it in their stupid head that I'm some kind of rat switch. Rat snitch. Been taking heat all damn week from other inmates, and the guards are coming down on me for every stinking little thing. It ain't looking good, babe. I gotta get my sorry ass out of this place somehow. I need you to call my lawyer. Let him know what's going on fast. Please, I'll see what I can do on this end. I got some ideas. Crazy ones, but better than nothing. Love forever, Rick. Oregon's created a situation where lots of them shitbags on sexual crimes come there after they get out. I know there's people who believe in rehabilitation. I think that's admirable. I think some of those types of crimes, because it's the type of pathology that it is, I think it's really hard to rehab somebody out of that type of behavior when they cross a line, because that's a deep compulsion, that's an addiction they're looking all of the time to try to satiate. They're trying to get their fix for it, and that makes them dangerous, you know? And some people might have good intentions to get through them, but I think it's a pretty big gamble, you know, to just let them out, see if they do it again. Yeah. And I'm talking in that specific case, like a sexual offender. I have opinions about that. Yeah. We've taken a pretty dark philosophical turn here on the Church of Skinnedteen today. I suppose we needed it because the last several streams have been like about farts and cum. So, yeah. Sometimes the church must preach. Yeah. Back to the litigating the greatest crime of all, anime. Yeah, I don't want to rehash that again, but also, man. Yeah. I'm just punctuated by saying this. If you like anime, do not let somebody else's opinion in chat dissuade you from liking it. Nobody truly gives a shit. That's why you think psychology as a science is necessary, but the human psyche is a shit show. Yeah. I think it takes people who really want to see the right thing happen working those types of jobs. Not just people who are looking for a conviction. Not just people who are looking to pad a number or something. You have to actually want to see the right thing happen. We don't have a lot of drama, and when we do, it's interesting. Yeah, to say the least, it is interesting. Do I, wait a minute. Maybe I need to go around. I've lost the plot already. Where was that walkway? I kind of wanted to go back to school for psychology and criminal, forensic stuff. I almost went back to college for it at some point. My parents would probably hear that and go, "What?" It's like, yeah, I never told you that, but I was thinking about it. It's good 6+ years of internship and getting fucked over while doing it. That's any job, I feel like, though. We're probably approximately similar age, and I come from when, the golden age of the .com was rising, and everybody going to college was promised, the world because we were going to make websites and be rich and successful, and then the bubble burst pretty early, and that didn't happen. Trying to find that walkway to the middle. Instead, we just made memes. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm absolutely an armchair psychologist, but Did the walkway break? Am I dreaming it?
Memes the DNA of the human soul. Cheer 100.
Yeah. The fact that college went from guaranteed employment to bare minimum for so many... Yeah. I truly just think that was a way of gaslighting a bunch of us into going to college in the first place. And I think that it's always a net positive to be learning. We should always want to be learning. Never be passive in that. Keep your brain sharp. Monetizing that shouldn't necessarily be a thing. That's a different conversation. Actually, no, that's the same conversation because that's what happened. We just monetized that, and that's how all of us many of us have no money because we're college debt. I'm lucky to not have college debt. I just have normal debt. I am so confused about how I lost this platform. It's like, it's over there. Okay. But how get to there? I think I need to go down and then up. Okay, it's here. The younger generations that make more money now will never understand this. Yeah. The millennials really got the short end of the stick. So and now probably people just think we're whiners. And it's like, well, no, we just got sold a lemon. We got sold a lemon. Yeah. Just leave me alone so I can play my fucking video games. I'm gonna try something crazy here. Because the only numbers I've been looking at for like a fucking hour are the ones on his jersey here. 11752. Holy shit. Why the fuck would anybody think that though? Like, I've been looking around everywhere, so I just guessed because I haven't found anything. I'm just going in a circle. What a dumb puzzle. What a stupid puzzle. What a stupid puzzle. Get coffee on my break. I could do that here in a bit. Then again, I don't know if I need coffee. I'm gonna need it tomorrow. Sub Sunday. Okay, this isn't correct. Wait a minute. The gun case. In the tower. don't even own a gun, let alone enough guns to necessitate an entire rack. What am I gonna do with a gun rack? Have a really big kid that you use for shelter. Well, that just brings us back to the man with 1,000 kids who was like from the Netherlands. So he's got that strong Viking blood. I'll just consult him and have a kid that's like 7'2". Yeah, Colgate said he was watching that documentary. It's pretty fucking gross. It's pretty fucking gross. I can't remember what his name was. Like the lion of something. Yeah, it's a terrible story. It's a terrible story. Because he runs at this pace, I've just been thinking about what it would be like to speed run this game. 'Cause you can't even speed run in the game. Oh, it's possible. If it exists, you can speed run it. Gabby, I will let you in the bedroom when I go get my coffee or my tea. I don't know which one I want. Do I want coffee or do I want matcha? Why not both? What kind of psychopath are you? Okay. What else did we get here? $quarter. What? Okay. Well, I'm going to go take care of this cat and I'm going to go take care of myself. And when I get back, we'll continue with trying to figure out how to get through this stupid prison.